25th and Pub Talk is back. We have our mock draft for the top 10 in the NFL draft. And then we're going to finish off the show with some beer tasting. There's no hops this week.
No hops.
So, but before we get to all that, we want to thank our sponsor, Route 11 Chips. Route 11 Chips, the best chips here in the Shenandoah Valley with great flavors such as barbecue, Chesapeake crab, and salt and pepper. 25 plus years of being in the business has led to some damn fine chips. So make sure you check out your local stores today and get your chip bag today. Okay, we're going to get right into it. And guys, Roger Goodell is vaccinated, so he is going to be hugging those guys on the stage.
You think
now.
he's going to wear a mask?
That was the stupidest tweet I saw all week. Like,
You're the stupidest tweet I've seen all week. I get to see face-to-face contact, nose-to-nose of, the whitest man in the NFL dapping up players every single
Who
time.
cares about Roger Goodell being able to hug people? I don't know why.
It was trending on Twitter. It made national news, made ESPN's bottom line. Yeah, like think about that. That's so
Schefter
dumb.
couldn't find anything else to tweet about. I mean, come on.
His sources aren't.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have sources like I do.
Yeah, and Barry McCockiner, I always like him. He might be the greatest Twitter voice in the Twitterverse.
Do you not understand what his name is, though?
I know what it is.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're not stupid. That's all.
He's the greatest troll who ever existed.
Right,
on Twitter.
He is the
He
ultimate
is,
troll.
and then you have those other people who, like, after every single tweet that Tom Brady makes, they'll be like, "Okay, here's my YouTube video on why you suck ass."
Right, that's Barry,
and you're trying to see if, like,
that is
they'll
Barry.
watch it.
That is him. That is
Anyway,
what he's doing. Okay,
Vigs,
so
Lucas, welcome back to the show.
CJ, this is one of my favorite shows to do. Other than
You're
the
here
live
every
draft.
single year. Yep.
Other than the
here.
live draft special.
Even on my previous podcast, you were here
Yes.
as well. So you know the drill. Lucas, as I said, you came in here with a, let's say, hard-on about this and ready to give your full attention to us and also show us that, like, are trades available? Well,
yes.
Well, guess what? For the listeners out there, after this comes up, he was fucking with us the whole time. He didn't come in with any trades, but I don't want to spoil who he wants them to pick. So let's go ahead and
I have one potential, and that was it. And it was just something that I had read about, and so I thought, maybe I'll just throw it out there when we get to it.
But
so
let's get into it. Let's start off the draft. Next Thursday at 8:00 is when the real draft will be.
All right. So what we've done. So what we've done is we created a spreadsheet here at Pub Talk, and we got Coach, we got CJ, we got Lucas and Vigna. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug our picks in, and then when we hit the draft on Thursday, we'll reveal whether we were accurate or not, because we are all freaking professionals and experts here because we have microphones in front of us.
The number one credential.
Yep. Number one credential is
microphone in front of your face.
Microphone in front of your face. So we are all experts. So we are going to go in an order. We are going to go in the draft order, 1 through 10, and then we're going to go in the show order. We're going to go CJ. We're going to go with myself, the coach. We're going to hit Lucas and Vigna.
Wow, way to put Vigs last.
Well, I couldn't.
Even though he was here before.
The only reason I did that was because it went alphabetical.
Sell out.
Sorry. It went.
I don't pay enough in taxes, CJ.
Yeah, and so and Vigna's not a full time guy.
He just got a second beer without asking.
And so Lucas,
I checked with Coach before the show even started about this. Just want to make that.
There
clear.
is no asking. Me beer, Sue beer. All right, so let's get started, CJ. We are going to rocket out of the number one spot.
Okay. Well,
and let's talk about it.
We'll start. First pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They finished 1-15 last year after week 1. They were satisfied. they were very satisfied after week 1.
That tweet still cracks me up.
Fantastic tweet. Elite tweet. Elite tweet. Yeah. So right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you don't know anything about the draft, fucking look it up, okay? I'm not going to teach you everything about the draft here.
If you haven't followed college football the last fucking 3 years, you don't know anything.
So our first pick belongs to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going 100%. Is going to be Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't.
To Jacksonville from Clemson, quarterback. I don't think that anyone here is going to disagree, but I'll still give him the floor. But he's
got.
Don't give me that fucking smirk, Lucas. But right off the bat, I think that he's a former national champion. The fact that he was never a Heisman winner is honestly like mind-boggling.
Yes.
Because he's been the best quarterback, albeit other than facing Joe Burrow when he was, at his top tier level in that championship. But with Urban Meyer as their head coach now, I 100% believe that he is the right person for the job to be their starting quarterback. And he is probably the best quarterback draft prospect in the past 10 years since probably Andrew Luck, I want to say, if we're talking like prototypical quarterback. But that's just what I have to say. Stop fucking smirking. All right, Coach.
We can argue this back and forth, but you'd have to be an idiot not to pick Trevor Lawrence. And a lot like what CJ just said, look, all the experts are pointing to him. You've said enough with the fact that he is seasoned. He's played at the top of the game. He played in the biggest game since he was a freaking freshman, He took the reins over and he never looked back. And so he's game tested. He's played with the top players in college football, and he excels. He can make all of the throws. He's got great wheels. You'd be a fool, Urban Meyer, not to take Trevor Lawrence. You'd have to be a fool not to take him.
So I, for one, am a believer in Gardner Minshew. I believe Gardner Minshew has the potential to be a solid NFL starting quarterback. With that being said, my first overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, quarterback from Clemson. Certain prospects come up every 10 to 15 years that you don't pass on.
He has this
Trevor Lawrence.
He has this word for it. He's reading this verbatim.
He's
reading this verbatim.
Okay.
So I was thinking with CJ.
You don't do that because I was about to get a headache.
You have to give the fans a little bit of a surprise.
Oh, man.
Oh, we got
I thought you were going to say that Gardner Minshew was going to be the greatest, solidest
mustache in the league,
maybe, or NFL backup or something like that. That's what I thought.
You believe in him?
I believe Gardner could be a solid NFL starter one day.
Because my boss is an ECU former alumni, and she fucking hates Gardner Minshew. So,
well, I mean, here's the thing.
If the JMU Dukes can beat them, then maybe there's hope for them because they did beat Gardner Minshew. Back in 2017, he was the starter when we won 34-14. Yeah. Yeah.
Did he transfer to Washington State then?
The year after he realized, I suck here because it's East Carolina. Sorry.
So Trevor Lawrence is the highest graded quarterback since quote Peyton Manning, Todd McShay, or they said if not one of the greatest ratings that he's ever done in his 25 years of doing college scouting. So I mean, you have to be a bonehead, idiot, stupid. I don't even know what.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
Shut
you have to
your face.
I mean, me personally, I think he was ready when he was a senior coming out of high school, ready for a war.
I agree.
The Johnny Manziel rule, though, he had to go through
I get that, but the throws that he was making as a senior in high school were phenomenal. I mean, he's only traditionally gotten better. He filled in, at Clemson, they, picked up right where they left off, so you can't go wrong with Trevor Lawrence.
I think when we all look at players and stuff like that, one of the things is, do they pass the eye test? Do they look the part? Trevor Lawrence looks the part.
Yes.
We'll see because he's going to drop into a system. And my whole thing was is that, look, you're going to take him. It's everything that everybody's talked about. He's been tested. He can make all the throws. I've already said all that. Well, how will he react? And one of the questions I wrote was, how will he react when his team doesn't measure up to what he had when he was in college? Right? Because he had superstars around him at Clemson. They're a Power 5 school, and they're probably in the Power 3 if you want to look at things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he's got top freaking 5-star guys he's throwing to. And that's not to say that those 5-star guys aren't available in the NFL. But Jacksonville ain't no power anything right now. And how will he fit into that system? We saw what happened to Joey Burrow. So we'll see. I'm not saying negative about him.
I still think negative. Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. That's the thing. can Urban Meyer put the front five in front of him to keep him upright?
I mean,
that is the biggest question.
Well, I mean, they already made the decision to franchise tag Cam Robinson. They
Well,
already made that decision as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. You've got to keep your prized, franchise face of the whole. I mean, this isn't Blake Bortles style, but, the face of the franchise upright. Because, I mean, no offense, when Joe Burrow went out and look at Cincinnati turned into. I mean, Joe Burrow was keeping them in games, even with that shitty offensive line they had in Cincy. So,
yeah.
All right, number 2 pick is the New York Jets.
The New York Jets.
The draft begins.
Now we got to start thinking. Here we go. CJ, fire away, brother.
This has been the hardest draft that I've had to make since my time of doing these podcasts. And, I have to still think that they need a quarterback because, they literally shipped their guy away and they shipped Joe Flacco away. But I'm okay with that. So I think that if there's anybody who's going to go here, because I think that they will bite the bullet and take him, it's Zack Wilson out of BYU.
Right, CJ, Zack Wilson.
Yeah, I think that he is. They will probably bite the bullet on him because I just don't think that they see Justin Fields fitting their system. So
they already got rid of Sam Darnold, so they're and they shipped out Joe Flacco, so they made room to put somebody into this spot. So
is it going to be a good situation? Hell no. It's still going to be a bad situation that you're going into.
I mean, Jacksonville's not even a good situation to go into.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I understand that.
None of these, maybe other than the Niners,
That's
it's not
a great
good
situation to go into.
We'll get to that.
18 players on injured reserve. That was the whole reason that they had a bad season.
But I mean, let's be honest.
18 players.
Other than maybe Fitzmagic, who was the last great Jets quarterback? Joe Namath?
Red Favre had 1 year with them. Okay.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's get real. Can you name
Mark Sanchez led him to the playoffs 2 years in a row.
He's the fucking butt fumble.
I know, but he had that 2009, 2010 run to the playoffs. Made it to back-to-back AFC championship games. That was the last one. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but that's the last quarterback to do anything significant.
And that's
I would say if you really thought about it,
they had Michael Vick for a season.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Well, no,
I'm
let's
thinking minus shoulder surgery. Chad Pennington, outside of all those guys, probably had a great potential, but he suffered terrible injuries to his shoulder and stuff like that. So when you think about that, you got to go back to Ken O'Brien, Richard Todd. Holy shit!
You're getting
those
back
are freaking
there.
80s guys.
That's what I'm saying.
And they've not been where they need to be.
And it's like Jacksonville since Mark Brunell.
Is Pittsburgh winning a game right now?
Yeah, they're up against the Twins.
It's probably going to be lost though.
But anyway, it's like the same thing for Jacksonville. Mark Brunell was the last great quarterback. Yeah, they had a couple good years with some, maybe Blake Bortles 1 or 2 years, but it comes back. You can't name a quarterback that you can associate with those top tier franchises that are always drafting 1 through 5.
but right now they do need a quarterback.
Correct.
Yeah, they do need one.
Yes.
All right. So with my pick, I'm going to follow on CJ's heels on this. I think Robert Saleh, the friggin' new head coach there, he came out of a system, and the Shanahan system, and he saw what they need. And let's face it, Zack Wilson is as close to the high flying guys like freaking Mahomes, Dak, those kinds of guys that you want to put a system around. But that remains the biggest question for me, is that a guy like Zack Wilson, when you saw his pro day,
holy shit.
He could release the ball at any angle and make just ridiculous throws. He's got tremendous feet. And he's a guy who's built a lot like freaking Mahomes and Dak at 6'2" and probably 215 or whatever like that. That kid can motor. The one thing that sets today is, will they build a system around what this kid can do? And so I think Saleh and the Jets are going to be smart when they take a guy like Zack Wilson. I don't think you can lose there. You gotta dive in. Could you go Justin Fields? Sure. Does it fit a Robert Saleh kind of offense where you just left Shanahan? I don't know.
He's actually the same height as Justin Fields, 6'3".
I thought it was like
Justin
6'2",
Fields
6'3".
is 6'3".
Yeah, he's a big cat.
Justin Fields is 6'3", 228, and Zack Wilson 6'3", 210.
Yeah, I thought he was more. I thought he was about 6'2", 215, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, that's cut right out of. If you look at his wheels, you could package him with a guy like he's got the same wheels as Mahomes. He's got the same wheels as Dak Prescott. He can make all those throws. I don't know that his arm's as good as freaking Mahomes, but the dude can rip it around the field. Put him in the right system and he'll be successful. But like CJ said earlier, the Jets got a lot of missing pieces, man. They got a lot of missing pieces. So we'll see.
All right, Lucas.
So I'm going New York Jets, and the Jets are going to take Zack Wilson.
So it's pretty obvious what direction the Jets are leaning in terms of what position they're going to pick. You trade away Sam Darnold, you're going to draft a quarterback. I believe the New York Jets select my personal favorite prospect, Zack Wilson.
Again with this fucking lead up to this shit. It's just like
Zack Wilson is my favorite prospect in this entire draft. He goes to New York Jets, has a great 15-year career, and he rewrites the record.
What's the one thing? What's the one
Jets.
Thing you like about him?
I love his ability to make every single throw, despite pressure. He can make every single throw from arm angle perspective.
Right.
I mean, he can just throw the ball in an absolute rope. He's not afraid to make throws into traffic.
Except
and he
can't beat
them.
He just can't beat
Chanticleer.
Coastal Carolina.
He can't beat Coastal.
I mean, that's going to be his knock, but man, he just makes every single throw. My favorite prospect by far.
Okay.
He goes number
all
2
right,
to the New York Jets.
I'm going to back you up on this one. Okay, so no offense. What quote weapons did he have at BYU?
All right.
Okay,
Well,
this is my defense to Zack Wilson.
Right.
He didn't have quote NFL talent at BYU at the receiving or tight end position.
And several of the players opted out.
Right.
Several of his receivers opted out of the season, so he was without weapons.
So I mean,
They probably had to go to their wives.
BYU has a great history of
Sorry. They're 30 years old. Sorry, no.
But I mean, yeah. We're gonna make it a clean sweep here. I can't
Jesus
believe
Christ, 2 picks in a row.
I can't believe we're saying this.
2 picks in a row. It's gonna change here. Trust me, it's gonna change.
Yeah,
The debate will start soon.
Yeah.
I mean, the New York Jets suck. Okay, so they just need help everywhere. My only concern is, okay, you take Zack Wilson, but you have not addressed the offensive line.
And they have the 25th pick later, though.
Right. Okay.
25th or the 23rd?
Was it
the 25th? I'm just guessing.
It was 23rd.
It is the 23rd. I did see an article that showed them in the 23rd.
So that's my only concern. You take a quarterback, then you need to follow it up with this pick with an offensive lineman. You have to.
And they have They have Mekhi Becton from last year,
right?
But it doesn't hurt to always add more.
Yes.
Absolutely not. You don't.
So
it never hurts to add more.
I mean, we're making it a clean sweep. Zack Wilson.
Yeah. Number 2, we're going Zack Wilson. Yeah, I don't think the Jets.
I didn't realize he's 6'3".
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's a little light in the ass at 210, but he can maybe run some option game with that.
NFL strength and conditioning and the offseason OTAs and all that stuff. They'll put a few more pounds on him.
Right.
He'll fit the role.
He's going to have expectations though, so let's just keep that in mind. You go to the big city.
Number 3, the pick number 3, CJ goes to the San Francisco 49ers.
Here we
After
go.
a trade with the Miami Dolphins. So
yes, from Miami.
Yep.
From Miami.
I just find that I'm going against my pick that I even made on myself. I'm not even going to think that they're going to do it. No, I can't. I was originally going to say Justin Fields, but I can't anymore. I think that you stick with Jimmy G. I think that you stick with him. And I think that you get him a big-time receiver to actually help out along with George Kittle. I think that you bring Jamar Chase in. To help out with
Jamar. They traded up for Jamar Chase?
CJ, they traded 3 1s.
You need you have a quarterback that you spent so much money on. You spent $120 million on.
Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk.
Wow.
Once again, I'm gonna say that
I would have thought you were gonna say Kyle Pitts there.
No,
Wow.
I think that you go Jamar Chase.
He's the best.
Wow.
He's
I
Jamar
think
Chase.
that you go Jamar Chase.
He's
You
the
need a
best
big time receiver.
He's the best receiver
You need
in the
somebody.
draft.
I don't
Debo
disagree with
Samuel
that.
is not a big time. He's a good number
I
2.
agree.
After Emmanuel Sanders, and also you lost what's his name?
Wow.
I forget. And then you lose George Kittle for almost half the season.
Yeah.
You need somebody
Gotta
else
like
on
Ding.
that team to
Gotta
pick up
Ding.
some slack.
Wow.
You need some offensive firepower.
CJ, this is a
Wow.
this is a quick right jab here. I didn't expect that. Wow.
I can see it though.
Yes.
I don't know that they would have traded up to get him, but I like the pick because Jamar Chase is the most NFL ready receiver right now.
It's just the fact that they traded 3 first-round picks for me. I don't think you trade 3 first-round picks to not pick a quarterback.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it's the
like-
same thing. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you draft a quarterback and he turns out to be shit, you've seen it before where teams have spent. Look what
RG3.
the Bears did trading up to get Trubisky, and look what it did to their
I was
team.
literally just about to say that.
I'm just using the Bears as the freaking scapegoat, but look what happened for that.
But you don't think they could have gotten a really solid wide receiver at 12? I mean, I'm not sure if Waddle will be there, Smith, but you got Rashad Bateman. There's a lot of good receivers in this draft.
But once again,
then
you take. I'm just saying, you need a fucking receiver. You need somebody with Jimmy G.
My whole thing
Raheem
is,
Mostert has been a very reliable running back.
I don't
for
see.
them.
I'm leaning towards CJ. That's not the same pick, but I'm leaning towards them just simply because. Jimmy G got 5 years, 135 million. So how do you get rid of all of that
when
cap
he has
space?
been healthy, he took him to a fucking Super Bowl.
And then if you do keep him, you draft a quarterback. That quarterback, in my mind, is going to sit until you run Jimmy G out, until you find him, until
the whole Tua situation. You just bought him, and then he sat out half the season, and it's like a back and forth. He's like, oh, he's in, oh, he's out, oh no, he's still the start, but he's out right now.
So wait,
He's
hold on. We need to say, is this what we think is going to happen, or is this what you would do?
This is what I would do. This is
yeah.
this
All
is
right,
each
but what do
person-
you think? What do you
What
think
was
they're
your
actually
first
going to do?
pick?
At
You
3?
said you were
what
gonna
do
go
you
away from
think
your
is
first-
going to happen?
Yeah, this
You
is
said
this
you
is all
wanna-
about what we think is going to
You
happen.
said you
in my
went
mind.
away. I know that's what
Okay,
he did, but
okay.
you said you went away from your first pick. What
I
was your
went
first
away
pick?
from Justin Fields because
Okay,
I just don't
okay.
believe it anymore. I don't.
Right.
Because I'm going back to what Jacksonville needs and what the New York Jets need. And what does San Francisco not need? They don't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
They don't need a fucking quarterback.
I don't know that you give a guy like Garoppolo 5 years, 135 million or 135 million plus, and then go, hey, our 2-year experiment is up with him. Let's in his 3rd year, let's draft a young kid and burn him up, and then say we'll throw the young kid out there.
I just don't
But
think
that's
you
what I
trade
did.
3 ones. though.
That's I understand because that's where I went with it. I went with the idea that San Francisco says, do you go with a plug and play guy? Do you go with somebody who you can plug in and expect good things out of him, like an AKA a Mac Jones who is a great completion percentage. He's a prototypical NFL quarterback kind of guy. But I don't think that they do that because Shanahan is not going to spend the money, and their team, San Francisco, is not going to spend the money on a guy like Mac Jones just to let him sit. So I think you get a guy, and here's my pick, in Trey Lance. I think you pick Trey Lance because you know he's going to sit. You're going to sit him for a couple of years behind Jimmy G, and then it might be a better fit for the Shanahan offense over the course of time. Because now he can learn behind Garoppolo, and then you can shop Jimmy G.
So
Because you're going to have to get rid of a
you're
shitload of
You're
contract.
telling me 3 first round. You couldn't sit there and get Trey Lance at 12?
I think.
See,
that
I have a different pick than Coach, but like
My whole
at
thing
least
is
I
that-
understand his.
Yes.
my whole thing
Yes.
is Trey Lance, is athletic as he is, fits in a Shanahan offense.
But he hasn't been. No offense to FCS competition, but he has not played
I know, but you could look at guys like freaking.
I get Tony Romo. I get it. I get
Josh Allen from Buffalo played at Wyoming. You can look at all these guys, and then you got all these guys.
He's still playing FBS football though. There's a big difference between Wyoming and North Dakota State.
I get all that.
Yeah, and North Dakota State would whoop their ass.
I beg to differ.
But here's my thing: is that this Trey Lance
it's been done before.
You know as well as I do that the NFL is not drafting people from the league that they're playing; they're drafting skills.
Right.
And Trey Lance has the skills to
Right.
play. And if he's gonna sit, then you trade up and get a kid like this who also fits just like the freaking Mahomes, just like Dak, just like Zack Wilson. And I think you can get him to sit for a little bit, and there's no pressure on him to learn.
Interesting.
And so I'm going Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.
So there's been one quarterback in Trevor Lawrence's recruiting class that has rivaled him.
I know what I'm doing.
That man is
Justin
Justin Fields. I believe the San Francisco 49ers select Justin Fields with a 3rd overall
Would
pick.
you stop talking like that? You're annoying me. I want to call you fucking Kirby because
Why? I'm giving a reason. I'm giving you a reason.
I know,
behind
but
every
you're
pick.
saying. I know, but you're saying the San Francisco 49ers will pick Justin Fields. Just let it flow, Lucas.
I think Justin Fields goes 3.
You
That's
do?
what I think. Yeah.
See,
Yeah, I mean, I was leaning towards Mac Jones because he's a plug and play guy. I don't know that Fields is. They talked about his draft status dropping, but still,
I got issues with Justin Fields. No offense. I got.
You got issues with him too.
He copped out of Georgia for
Anybody
some.
and their mother could get in there. Sorry.
He copped out of Georgia for some bullshit
Not your mom, she went
excuse.
to Penn State.
He left a difficult situation at Georgia to go to an easy one at Ohio State.
You made the right decision though to leave Georgia because Kirby Smart is nope. Do not.
Well, I'm just saying.
Smart mind.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, you cop out of a situation that you
don't want to compete through it.
that you don't want to be a better person from it. That's my first knock on Justin Fields. His game against Northwestern, when he faced an actual good defense, he did not know what the fuck to do.
He actually faced a couple times when he faced Penn State. He actually struggled with
Exactly, and
well.
I don't think he is an NFL type quarterback. I'm sorry. He's not.
When he faced against Clemson, I mean, he's
a deer in the headlights, and he doesn't know how to read the field. I don't think he can read the field.
I'm looking.
I don't think he can read the field.
I'm reading the field right here.
Who would spend 3 first picks for that? By the way,
my thing is, I don't think you're wasting 3 first-round picks on Justin Fields.
Okay, then what are they wasting it on?
But
the smartest quarterback in the draft.
Mac Jones.
With the dad bod.
No offense, he is the safest pick in this draft.
But Justin Fields can develop.
That's a project.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, if they're ready to move on, no offense, I do not think Jimmy G is the answer in San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying. Fields.
When he's not plug and play. You can't plug and play him.
Yes, you can.
No, you
can't. Fields can sling the football. Here's the deal.
Just because
Fields is the best of both worlds between.
He can
sit. Fields could sit and be just
Hannah Montana.
If you put him in week 8, he'd go out there and ball.
I guarantee you, he turns out like RG3.
That's such a terrible take. That's such a terrible take.
Words.
He's terrible take. I don't even want to entertain that.
So you're telling me
I'm not even going to entertain it.
All right, let's say it's your own opinions.
I'm just
have what you want.
My thing is the safest pick in the draft is Mac Jones. He's very a quick learner. He can look what he did. He sat and learned from freaking Jalen Hurts, Tua, and when it was his time to shine, he was ready and prepared.
He's better than both of them, though.
Correct. Agreed.
I think Mac Jones is a better quarterback than both.
I
think all
he's
those
better
guys.
He's better than Tua.
Hurts is the best one.
You think he is?
I think Jalen Hurts had one bad game and he got benched because of it. I mean, I'm not
saying anything. You know as much as you know.
Feel
CJ and I both agree on Jalen Hurts that he is a great competitor. Mm-hmm. You never see him sweat. He's a good football player, man.
He literally would win a national championship if just the other team did not have Deshaun Watson. Just think about that. Because he literally drove them down the field to get that touchdown, and then, he gave the ball to Deshaun Watson. And then you think about the next year, that Georgia game, he did struggle. I will say that. He did.
And Saban did what he's supposed to do, and he makes the change. So.
I guess my other argument is I think Mac Jones is more of a West Coast style quarterback than Justin Fields. You're telling me Justin Fields can run the West Coast offense like this?
There's punches thrown, I swear.
You're telling me he can sit in the pocket and he's like Brett Favre can?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Well, no one's going to sit in the pocket like Brett Favre can these days.
Well, I'm just saying.
Justin Fields can definitely sit in the pocket and throw the football. I'll pull up the tape for you after
to the other team.
No.
All right. You guys believe what you want and what you want. Just okay.
All right. Who's got a higher ceiling, Justin Fields or Mac Jones?
I just said let it go.
Higher ceiling?
Yes. See, you don't even know. So therefore, why would the 49ers not take the guy with a higher ceiling if you don't need to play him right away?
You thought I was crazy. You're thinking he's crazy. Look, it's a win-win. Okay, there we go.
I was fine with his pick until he started questioning Justin Fields. That's when I took it.
Yeah, personal. It's his opinion. That's fine.
I got a microphone in front of my face.
Yeah, okay, so Jamar Chase, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones.
See that makes it interesting. That makes for great content.
We're all on a different level here. All right, who is number 4?
Number 4 are the Falcons.
I don't think that, in my opinion, what I saw last year from Atlanta is that your defense historically last season was absolutely atrocious. Your pass defense was that Cowboys game made me want to throw up when I saw how you lose that game. In 100 situations, you win that game 99 times out of 100, and you lost the one fucking game. I think that you go for the kid from Alabama. You go for Patrick Surtain. You gain a quarterback. You need some sort of pass defense. You already shipped off Ricardo Allen. You already shipped off one of your top. One of your starting
Surtain, correct? Surtain the second, right?
Surtain. Daddy was a very good corner.
I think that as of right now, you need some sort of defensive position.
I like that pick. I don't see that myself, but I like
the corner in the draft.
Yeah, I think
hands down.
Him and
pick Patrick Surtain. Sorry,
I like it.
I don't see it that way, but I like it also.
The only other guy that I could even remotely see there playing defensively in the draft from that position is Caleb Farley from Tech, who's also NFL ready. Yeah, he's also NFL ready. So, but that's because I'm a Tech, I love Tech and stuff like that. So, I'm going somewhere different with that, CJ. And it's not like I didn't think about that.
It's fine. I've already been called crazy at the number 3.
I know.
So
my thing is that Matt Ryan still has 2 years on his contract. He has 2 more years. But here's the thing. Do you go with something they need, like a tight end? Do you go with somebody to fit into that mold?
Okay.
I'm not going to change my pick because I think this guy's going to fall a little bit further, but I'm going to take Justin Fields right here just simply because I don't think Atlanta passes him up. Get him ready to play in the NFL and use a guy like Matt Ryan to teach him. Because Matt Ryan and both of them make that play. So I think Justin Fields is only going to fall to number 4. And the only reason is I think when you look at what Atlanta needs, Matt Ryan's career is only a couple years away from ending. So you got to find somebody who fits that system, and that's where I'm going Justin Fields at number 4 with Atlanta. I don't think they pass him up. I don't think Justin Fields continues to fall, and they overlook the Pitts kid from Florida, which they could use. And I put him in there. So that's why I'm going to put my number 2 / because we talked about this, is Pitts from Florida. Because I think that they could fit both of them in there. I think they either go with Fields or Pitts.
I think they're going to try to keep going with Matt Ryan. I don't think they pick a quarterback here. I think they pick Kyle Pitts just to give him another weapon. You give him Julio, Ridley, and Kyle Pitts. That's hard to pass on.
And Kyle
especially
Pitts,
for offensive-minded Arthur
Kyle
Smith.
Pitts is a tight end, but he's a freaking wide receiver.
He's an O.J. Howard.
He is so dynamic. I mean, he doesn't fit into the same George Kittle. He doesn't fit into the Kelsey mold. He doesn't fit into the Gronk mold. No. He's not that kind of guy. He is one of those high-speed tight ends.
He can stretch the field.
So, you know what, Lucas? I kind of like that. But Kyle Pitts is going in at number 4 for Atlanta.
So, Falcons need help, I think, just by everywhere. I think that's an agreement, right? So, they need defensive help.
Don't say it. You better not pick him because I'll be pissed if you do.
So, just hear me out, right?
All right.
They need – can anyone name anyone on their defensive line?
Grady Jarrett.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one person.
Used to have Vic Beasley until
right. So Quiddy Page is an option. Reach a little bit, right? It's an option. Barmore definitely maybe a reach here. I mean, he's a game changer from Alabama, right? I think the most logical pick though is Kyle Pitts. I mean, I think he could be a generational type player like Tony Gonzalez was for that.
Yeah.
I just think the safest pick here, he's the best available prospect at this point. Like, I don't think you go wrong with Kyle Pitts. So, yes, they need help defensively. They could very well like shock us and go quarterback and be like, whoa, we're like, whoa, like Joe Rogan was last night when that guy got knocked out. Whoa. But I think Kyle Pitts is the logical.
You thinking
they need, if they're still invested in Matt Ryan, they're gonna,
and they got money in their cap. They got a 30 couple million in their cap.
They're gonna sell out and help him.
You got a couple more years.
That might take pressure off of Julio. That might take pressure off of Ridley.
Yeah.
Another weapon on offense. So I think that's why they go Kyle Pitts here.
All right, so I'm gonna drop Kyle Pitts in there. You and
so three people chose partially Kyle Pitts, and then
because I think he's probably the best available. Pick number 5, CJ, begins with Cincinnati.
For me, this is a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
You go with the offensive tackle out of Oregon.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name. Is it Penei Sewell? Sewell?
Penei Sewell.
6'6",
330.
They had pictures of him on the Monday night.
Individual boy.
They literally had pictures of him on the Monday night game of them holding up posters of him at that game. I go, I 100% believe after the year that Joe Burrow had and the fact that he tore his ACL, you bring in an offensive lineman to help him out as your first overall pick. So, that's for me.
All right. I see it, but I got questions. And I'm not saying that Sewell isn't a great fit for them. And I'm contemplating him dropping one more spot, because that puts 2 freaking really good offensive tackles, especially with Rashawn Slater out of freaking Northwestern. That puts that into the mix there. And I think that with what Detroit needs coming up later, I don't know if I change here. Damn it. I want to agree with CJ. I think all the experts are there because I think if Pitts falls one more, that Cincinnati will take Pitts because he's one more weapon. And then also the wide receiver from LSU, Jamar Chase, is also great because he's a teammate of Burrow's.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Do you fail to protect Joe Burrow, or do you do everything you can to keep him upright and do whatever you can? So I'm going to go with Penei Sewell right here as well. Like CJ, I think that's a solid choice just simply because you got to keep your big money guy, Joey, upright. You got to keep him upright. And as flashy as a guy like Pitts might be at that situation, I think you got to – it's all about building an O-line to keep Joe up.
Especially if he falls, like you have to entertain that.
Right.
Did you all see the pictures of the Bengals new uniforms?
Yeah.
No,
it had a picture
I saw it, but
it had a picture of Joe Burrow. He's sitting on the couch, literally shows the scar of his torn ACL.
I wasn't sure until I saw that picture, and
Yeah.
that picture kind of confirmed to me.
Yeah.
Panay Sewell goes number 5.
Yeah.
You got to protect your investment.
I
That's
did
what
a double
believe.
take on that. And
That's
I saw
not a whole lot different, is it?
I don't know.
It doesn't.
No, I mean, they weren't like too flashy or anything. The thing that stood out the most was Joe Burrow's knee, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was what I got out.
You
of it.
got to keep him upright, and you
Right.
give him a chance. And
Okay, Vigs.
so where are you going, Panay Sewell?
I'm going Panay Sewell, yes.
So I agree with all you guys. You have to you saw what happened once Joe Burrow left. I mean,
He's the best offensive lineman that's in the draft right now. Outside
you
of Rashawn
have
Slater.
He opted out for the season.
Yes.
And he was training this entire
you
time.
have to you have to protect Joe Burrow. It's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
CJ, pick number 6. Pick number 6 via Philadelphia is the Miami Fins. The Dolphins are going to pick number 6 after moving up on the board from Philadelphia. What do you got?
I think that I don't see them taking a quarterback.
No.
I'm sure maybe they kind of hinted in that when they moved up, but I think you kind of reunite Tua with a former teammate. I think you kind of reunite him with the former teammate
Which
and the wide
one?
receiver. Well, I'm gonna pick Devontae Smith. I think that you take him. Sure, he may be $166, but I'm okay with that because you're a Heisman winner, and I think that you reunite him with Tua Tagovailoa, and you say, okay, go make magic happen now.
I always talk about magic. I got that from your grandfather. You know what magic stands for?
What's it stand for?
Make a great individual contribution.
Okay.
And it's all about magic. And if you can pair somebody up like that, that's why I entertain the idea of Jamar Chase going to Cincinnati early, just to put somebody in Joe Burrow's pocket that he knows can go and make plays. That's why I threw that out there.
Until you saw the ACL.
Right. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, you got to keep Joe safe. You got to keep him safe.
But he does have a good relationship with T. Higgins. So
Higgins, Tyler Boyd.
They had a pretty good
Ty
meshing.
Boyd. Yeah, Ty Boyd is a freaking.
He's so consistent.
Yeah, he's a great possession receiver. When you look at things, he does a great job with that.
Coming from a single A school with about 60 kids in it. Can you believe that?
Are you just gonna
Clareton Bears.
Clareton Bears.
Clareton Bears.
Yeah, they just whip people's ass. That's all there is to it. You do not want to play Clareton.
Fuck, man. Nobody
No.
does.
Okay, Coach.
Never. All right, so Miami, this is where I think that a Florida kid stays at home. And they have 2 decent receivers already. And so a solid tight end fits in here. And I think
what's wrong with Gesicki? What?
That's too high. They could get him in the second round.
no, Gesicki's already there. But I think Kyle Pitts is a good fit right now.
If the Falcons don't take him.
And the thing
Correct.
is, you know as well as I do that who's the head coach of the Dolphins?
Brian Flores.
Yeah. And
Bill
where did he
Belichick.
come from?
Bill
New England.
Belichick.
And what did Bill Belichick always crave in his offense?
Tight
That's
ends.
right, 2 tight ends. So why not pair the 2 of them together? Kyle Pitts and freaking Gesicki together.
Oh, I'm thinking
and-
Frymouth.
And now and Freiermuth's coming out in the draft now,
Yeah,
but
no.
he's not on Pitts' level.
I know.
And now you have 2
Who
additional
knows? He
guys.
might be.
And so you got a great potential here. And so I think Kyle Pitts doesn't fall any farther than pick number 6 to Miami.
he's a freak.
Yeah, I think that the thing about him is he's a solid tight end who plays like a wide receiver. I think it's a good fit. You got to get guys that freaking Tua can throw to.
My thing,
Shit.
the only knock again would be his blocking. What's he asked to do?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like a Gronk
You
or
know,
a freaking.
That's the only I would think knock in his game. One-on-one against
George
JJ
Kittle-
Watt or
George
something
Kittle
like that.
and Kelsey. They're great blockers, but they're also great fucking possession receivers. So let's go on, Lucas.
I agree with you, Coach, that if Kyle Pitts is still on the board, he goes number 6. But since I have Kyle Pitts already gone,
Yes,
I'm going with Jamar Chase, the best receiver in the draft, at
I
number
think so.
6. Give Tua another target.
I like it. I think that's a very possibility. I did not. I
agree,
didn't
wide
think.
receiver then.
Yes.
You're not hinting at a quarterback then.
No, they're not picking a quarterback.
Yeah, I was thinking Jamar Chase is later, but I'm not too far away.
So,
Okay.
rule number 1: never put doubt in someone's head, a la Tom Brady. Right? Doubted people. Right? Same thing with a kid that weighs what? About 150 pounds soaking wet.
166.
That his
10-pound weight in his ass.
His cuts, other than Jalen Waddle's cuts, are probably some of the best I've seen
Who knows if
in years.
I think
who knows
Jalen
if
Waddle
he didn't get hurt.
I think
if
Jalen-
Jalen Waddle doesn't get hurt.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
What would
Yeah.
happen?
Yes.
I mean, he's
Yes.
definitely there, but
But I just don't give Devonta Smith ammo
Yeah.
to want to be even greater than what he is. So
right. You're going.
my heart says to go somewhere else, but you have to pick Devonta Smith, because if he's the second receiver taken, like if they end up taking Jamar Chase, that's going to be like, hey, I wasn't the best receiver in the draft. I won the damn Heisman Trophy. That's going to give him ammo to be.
Jamar Chase, you fucking opted out. What do I have
Yeah.
to do? What
Yeah.
do I have
to do to get respect? I mean,
Yeah,
my thing is logical choice. Tua does have I agree. I think I didn't think about that, TJ.
Yeah.
They have familiarity. Right? Can't say that word.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
But
Get that family over there.
My thing is,
Yo, it's all
he
about
could
family,
play.
yo.
He could play multiple positions. He could play the slot. You can put him at the outside. He can get
Put
him
him at kick return.
Turner. I mean, he's so
I think about what
what
think
you
about
can
those
do
great
with,
slot
but what you
possession
can do with
receivers
him.
over the course of time. You think about those guys, and think about the prototypical slot receiver, and Amendola, and who was the guy that was with Denver? Was with the New England, went to Denver. Wes Welker, and Devontae Smith smokes those dudes, and is just a better all around receiver.
And he's so humble and thankful.
Yeah,
and
he's grounded.
He's just.
I like that.
He's just
that
the
about
most. I just root for that kid because he's
Yeah.
been doubted his whole life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think
Can he stay healthy by taking the pounding that he's going to get hit by
yes.
NFL caliber corners and safeties or linebackers or wherever like that? Can he withstand that?
Correct.
And we've already seen the freaking Jalen Waddle guy go down on. Now that was a tackle, and you saw it fold under. But Waddle's probably the most technical outside of freaking Jamar Chase. I don't know that there's a more technical receiver than Jalen Waddle.
My thing is just stop doubting him.
Yeah,
he won a Heisman Trophy for a reason.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, they're going to go receiver. It's going to be who. It's
You're
going
good?
to be who they're going to take.
Who is there?
It's going to be who's there.
I'm
and I
sorry.
think the Dolphins are going to take Devonta Smith. At least
All right.
I hope they do.
Pick number 7, CJ,
Detroit
is
Lions.
Detroit with a possible, and there's a lot of discussion here that New England is going to trade up to number 7.
Yeah. I think that right now, if you're Detroit, you may take that risk, but at the same time, you just hired a bruiser and Dan Campbell to be your head coach. I think that you have to look at your defense and say, you're a bunch of bitches, okay? I need to get some meat in here. I need to get somebody who I know is a bruiser and somebody that I know can tackle anybody on the field,
I
can
know
go
who it
sideline to
is.
sideline.
Micah
I'm going
Parsons.
Micah Parsons
Ah,
for
that's a
Penn
good
State
fit.
to go number 7 to Detroit. I think that you put him there in the middle, and you have yourself somebody that can at least make a little bit of a difference on that defense for some time.
I
But you got to get more
thought Matt
people.
Patricia was a
He's gone.
He's
I know.
gone.
I know. I just thought he was, this defensive gear.
Exactly. They had nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Well, I'm
I'm
going to
going
go
Micah
out of the
Parsons.
box here, and I know we weren't talking trades, but I think this is going to happen. I think that New England is going to buy up to get. I think they're going to trade up to get Mac Jones right here. And the reason why is because guess who is the quarterback coach and working within the New England system again, who was successful and won a Super Bowl with them and is now a part of the offense with Josh McDaniels. They brought back Bill O'Brien. And you can talk all the shit you want
Bill
about
O'Brien's with Bama.
He's Bama's OC.
He's going to end up with New England again.
You think Bill O'Brien will?
Yeah, I think so.
You really think he's going to leave the OC job at Bama before this year
think
starts?
So. Yeah,
That's a bold take.
yeah, I think so. And I think Bill is going to convince him out of that. And I think that they're going to trade up, and this is where Mac Jones goes, right? to New England.
Wow.
That's the only thing I can see happening, because Mac Jones is going to fall right into their hands, because they want him, because he's a prototypical quarterback. He has the Brady dad body. You can't tell me that freaking
Bill
Josh
Belichick,
McDaniel
they'd be salivating if he falls. But my thing is, what are they going to trade? What are they going to trade up to get him?
You'd have to trade multiple ones.
Yes.
You got to.
Will Bill Belichick trade multiple ones? I don't know. That's my only hesitation there.
I think Bill Belichick, if
he's
he does
smart. He's smart. He's probably the smartest person to move around in the draft.
I think if Bill Belichick was 45, he wouldn't trade multiple picks. But since he's like 69 or 70 years old, however old he is, he might. The end is near. He might sell out and try to win one more in the next 2 or 3 years. I could see that.
Okay, Lucas, you're up.
All right, so I personally believe that with Kenny Golladay leaving Detroit, they have a huge need at wide receiver.
This is the only other choice I had.
I believe Devontae Smith slides down the board because of concerns about his weight. So I picked Jalen Waddle going number 7 to the Detroit Lions.
Wow, that's not who I was thinking.
Who'd you have there, Coach?
The only other person I had going there was Jamar Chase, because I thought he would fall to right there.
Yeah, well, I had him going 6, so Waddle goes 7 to Detroit, is what I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, Vigs, you're up.
So because Devonta Smith went the previous pick for me, Jamar Chase doesn't fall very far. He does go, which pairs Jared Goff nicely with a young, tall, lanky, but he didn't play last year. Is he, opted out?
Not the Micah Parsons. He didn't play last year.
True.
Either, so that's why.
True. So you got some risk for these kids that have sat out a year. They haven't played football in almost 2 years.
They all declared for the NFL draft basically when
He's
they
the best
sat out,
tackler.
so.
He's the best blitzer. Right. He's the best sideline to sideline guy there is in the draft.
My biggest
Micah
concern,
Parsons by far.
You haven't played a football game in 2 years, though.
Yeah,
so that's my only concern.
Yeah. Healthy, 100% healthy now.
Correct. But Jamar Chase.
Gotcha. Jamar Chase. All right, CJ, here we go. Going on to pick number 8. We are dropping into the Fighting Matt rules, baby. Carolina picks at number 8.
I'm about to piss them off though, because I think that the Fighting Mad Rules will be trading away their pick, because there has been one team who was willing to give up draft picks for a quarterback, but he was a little bit too expensive, and I think that they could get somebody in the draft here, and I think that Chicago will trade to get the pick from Carolina, trade up and get the boy from North Dakota State. They'll get Trey Lance there at number 7.
So you're saying Chicago is going to drop into that spot?
Yep, trade out with Carolina. Give a couple of number ones.
I'm gonna preface my pick with the New England. So your guys were all Detroit picks. Mine was prefaced with the potential for a trade at number 7 for the New England Patriots to grab Mac Jones. All right, so CJ's going Carolina, Chicago. Chicago's going to jump in there, and they're going to go after Trey Lance.
What if he is another bust? The shit storm of the bear. But he's so raw, it's unreal.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing.
The thing about Trey Lance.
There was nothing raw about Trubisky. I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
He played 10 games.
I know.
Or 12 games.
No, that's what
when
I'm saying.
When I look at Trey Lance.
Sean Watson just won a national championship.
You
went for Trubisky. Sorry.
When I look at Trey Lance, I don't see anything remotely in the same league as Trubisky.
He's better than him.
I think physically, athletically, he's just a raw piece of clay that you can freaking pick in there.
Never thought I'd say that about North Dakota State.
So
you don't
CJ's
win 8
going to
national
Carolina
championships the past 9
Okay, so
years.
everybody else threw in the Chase kid from here. He's the best overall wide receiver in the draft. Sam Darnold needs someone to throw to for splash plays. If Cincinnati goes Jamar Chase, and the Jets pick Sewell, I think that there are only two choices for Carolina, and that's Jamar Chase at this point, or Rashawn Slater, the freaking offensive lineman from Northwestern, because I think they're both a great fit. The number one thing is, do you take a guy like freaking, and what CJ said, do you take a guy like freaking Micah Parsons here to lead your defense? Well, I mean, realistically, who do you got defensively that
Jack
adds
Thompson.
up to this guy? Okay. All right. So
You don't have Luke Kuechly, who is hands down one of the best
and
linebackers
Micah Parsons
since
could
he came in the
blossom into
league.
that, and so I threw that out there. But
That
I
one
think
still
You remember
bums me
watching-
out.
just me, I'm thinking Jamar Chase falls
That
right
still
here.
bums me out, man.
Them Harrisburg Cougs we saw in the state title game, baby.
I'm thinking Jamar Chase. Nice little addition to Carolina. You can't pass him
I
up
would
if
be
he's there.
shocked if he's
Ba-
still there. Let me
Based
say
on
that.
where I'm at, you guys have him going. CJ has him going as early as the third pick to San Francisco, and that was clever. Some of you have him going to Miami with the 6th pick. Other than that,
I don't see him falling.
I don't see him falling out of
No.
the top 10. So I dropped him
No.
in there, Jamar Chase, with the 7th pick or the 8th pick. I'm sorry.
I mean, some of the
Carolina.
catches he's made.
I did not read about the Bears draft to get
Me either.
Trey Lance, but it could be.
Very well. CJ,
I hope
you
so.
went and did
I
your
hope
homework.
we need some fresh blood.
I believe this is a great spot for someone like Chicago or New England to trade up to.
Okay, so you're thinking,
However,
I had seen something about New England going to probably 7 or 8.
I believe that the Panthers will select Rashawn Slater,
Yeah.
an offensive tackle out of Northwestern, because I truly believe that Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel are solid targets for Sam Darnold in Carolina, so they try to protect Sam Darnold with the pick of Rashawn
But here's
Slater.
my thing. So when you look at Teddy Bridgewater and then you bring in a Sam Darnold, are they that far apart from each other?
No, I don't think so, but I also don't think you would have made that trade unless you were going to start Sam.
Yes.
I get that. So why not go for somebody he can throw to like a Jamar Chase?
I think that
You got to keep
with
him
Robbie
upright.
Anderson and Curtis Samuel already there, that they'll pick Rashawn Slater. Just a guy to keep him upright.
Dude, he's freaking I was watching film on him. That's like trying to freaking hold a dump truck on a hill. It's like you can't fucking do it. He's just a man. He is a man. And then when you look at his
Must
picture,
be smart because he got into Northwestern.
yeah, he went to
too.
Northwestern. So yeah. So all right, Vigs, hit it.
So I'm actually in agreement here that I think Matt Roll is going to be a scheming
He's
guy
good, man. I love Matt Rule.
and trade back and collect draft capital. I think that's what's going to happen. But I kept it here as if they were to
They were
make the pick,
picking at number 8.
if they were to pick number 8, right?
Okay.
But I think they're going to trade back with who? I don't know.
Chicago is what CJ's saying.
Right, but I think they're going to trade back and collect draft capital because I still think they need help. Offensively to defensively they addressed everything last year. Matt Roll, he's a defensive guy. But the pick that makes sense, Jalen Waddle. That's the pick that makes sense. You have McCaffrey.
Is that Jay?
Jaylen?
Yeah, I thought
Waddle.
so.
Can you believe he went to St. James up there in Hagerstown?
Did he really?
Jalen Waddle.
Look it up.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's good.
How crazy is that? But he's coming off an injury. It's a risk. A pretty significant injury. You saw I still can't believe they allowed him to play in the national title game. But
kid.
yeah, I know.
At center with a.
I know. Landon
Torn
Dickerson.
ACL.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully he goes to the Steelers in the second round because we need a center.
Yeah,
We really need a center.
I know we do. We do.
But I still think the Panthers are going to trade out, collect draft capital, maybe move back a couple picks, pick up a second or third rounder.
Okay,
On to the Broncos.
so onto the Broncos. I think this is where Justin Fields finally goes.
Really?
Well, yeah, I think that they do.
Drew
need a
Lock's not the
quarterback.
answer.
Nah, he.
Even if they don't put weapons around him.
They did put weapons around him. They did have Cortland Sutton. They did draft KJ Hamler. They did have Deshaun Hamilton. They put weapons around him that were very...
2 Penn State wide receivers.
That's why I said weapons. So they did put some weapons around him because KJ Hamler was Penn State's best wide receiver.
Oh,
he was 100% their best wide receiver. So, and then you had
Deshaun from Mountain View down in Fredericksburg.
And then you had Philip Lindsay, and you bring in Melvin Gordon, and you still.
Why'd they let him go? Why did they let Philip Lindsay go?
To Houston of all teams too? I don't understand that one, but I still think that they have a need for a quarterback because clearly they didn't even want to give fucking Blake Bortles a chance, and I don't know why because he's the boat. So I don't know why. And I think they need a quarterback, and I think this is where Justin Fields is. Now, do I think this is a good decision? No, I don't think that Vic Fangio is the right coach. He's a defensive coach. Mm-hmm. He is in the perfect position if he's a defensive coordinator because clearly that defense carried him all year. Now, were they a top 10 defense? No, they were still middle of the pack because they were missing players here and there, but they were still a good defense. They just franchise tagged Justin Simmons. And they had a lot of great players like Bradley Chubb show up after Von Miller sat out or didn't play because of a torn ACL. So they had a good defense, but I think that they need a quarterback now. And I think that Justin Fields is there.
So you think Fields falls to number 9 with Denver. And it's not far off or from what I was thinking anyway. It's not that far off. It's not far-fetched because my notes are I'm like saying they need a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Drew Lock is not the answer. But I think from a fan perspective, I think Denver fans want to see Drew Lock successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they
disagree with that.
But they need somebody who can make something happen. And in order to do that, you'd have to trade up from here. Can they trade up? I don't know. Will they trade up to something a little bit more? I don't know.
No, I don't.
You're picking in the top 10. Are you hoping a guy like Fields drops to here?
If you're in the top 10 and trading up, you're giving up a lot still. You're giving up at least 2, if not 3 first rounders. You have to.
I'm not saying you're wrong. And here's the thing. If Fields is available, they jump on him. They jump on him big time.
You have to.
Big time. Lindsay is gone. So my only other choices were Najee Harris or Travis Etienne fitting in here because they need a running back to pair with. I just totally blanked out. Melvin Gordon. And Melvin Gordon has not been.
That's right. He did go there.
Melvin Gordon is not that high production guy anymore. He's just not. And
he wanted Le'Veon Bell money.
He wanted Le'Veon Bell money. And so do they take a risk and go for somebody like a Najee Harris or Travis Etienne out of Clemson or Javonte Williams from North Carolina, who's also a freaking solid running back?
Top 9? You think you're drafting?
I'm just saying those were my choices.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I'm going to go with what CJ had said earlier. And in a Vic Fangio defense, you need that guy that freaking
you want
make.
Tom going out again?
Yeah, he's coming in and out. They'll be good.
Okay.
He's not in deuce mode, so he's not up on the table.
All right.
So I'm going right here. I think that Denver goes defensive right away. And they go with Micah Parsons. I think this is where Micah Parsons fits in. He fits in a Vic Fangio defense. And so I'm going with Micah Parsons here at number 9.
So I don't think Drew Lock's the answer. And I also think Vic Fangio's on the hot seat.
I think so too.
So
just like Matt Nagy with the Bears, there's a lot of coaches sitting on that hot seat trying to make things happen. So
I think we all agree that Mac Jones is probably the safest quarterback to take. Maybe he doesn't have the highest ceiling. In my mock, I have Mac Jones still being available. So this is where Mac Jones goes, number 9 to Denver.
They were talking about him going in the top 10 somewhere.
Yeah.
And
he's just so smart. It's unreal.
Right.
Yeah. One of the stats that I saw is he had the highest completion percentage in college football across multiple seasons. Like he was so dead on accurate, but look who the hell he's throwing to.
He's throwing to. But here's the thing: he's throwing to NFL talent, so he's in an NFL offense. theoretically. So,
well, I mean, you look at Belichick and Saban, and they're cut from the same mold.
Correct.
And so they clinic together. And when you have that kind of thing, but that's why I guarantee you Saban is on the phone to freaking Belichick. And that's why I'm telling you that freaking New England is going to go up. And he's like, Bill, you need to have Mac Jones. You need to have him. This kid will fucking make you win again. And so that's why I think that they're going to work the trade at pick number 7. But I don't think this is a bad pick because Bill's one of those guys that's like, hey, look, I got Cam Newton in my offense for one more year at least. I'm going to give him $2 million or whatever like that. So I got Cam, but eventually you need to go Mac Jones. But I think this is a solid fit. I can't argue that, Lucas.
All right. So the best defensive prospect, hands down, in this draft. I hate to say this. I'm a pick guy. I fucking hate Penn State.
I'm going to go ahead and put his name on
fucking
there.
hate Penn State. He's a Harrisburg Coug. I love Harrisburg Cougars. Micah Parsons, he's a freakish athlete. He was a top 10 prospect coming out of high school. He lived up to the hype at Penn State.
Yep.
I hated to see him opt out, but I mean, Vic Fangio's defensive guy. The Broncos won their championships through a great defense. Granted, they did have Peyton Manning, but he was on the latter end of his career. I still think, Micah Parsons is the pick here for the Broncos.
I don't disagree at all with any of that. I mean, I that's why I picked him. I think a guy like Vic Fangio goes in that role. All right, CJ, let's get number 10 on the board.
The Cowgirls.
Go number 10.
The Cowgirls.
The number 10 pick belongs to Dallas.
Oh,
I know this
the
is
dumpster
probably,
fire. The dumpster fire.
I know this is probably a far-fetched pick, but
It's the Dallas Cowboys. Well,
I already said that one cornerback was being taken by Atlanta, so
you're going to take the other one.
I would take another one here with the Dallas
Caleb
Cowboys.
Farley.
Him or Jace Horn out of South Carolina, I would
JC?
go with. Yeah, JC. Sorry. Yeah,
So
him.
Which one are you going?
Also,
I'd still go with.
You want to put them
JC.
both? Let's put them both.
Yeah, I'd go
1A,
JC.
1B.
JC what?
JC Horn out of South Carolina.
Gotcha. And then who else?
Farley.
Caleb.
Out of,
Caleb Farley. I'm going to go.
Just think how bad Tech was last year, but how many prospects they have that could go in the first round. Think about that. How bad they were, but how many great NFL prospects they have.
Yeah,
And
they got
couldn't
an
put
offensive tackle who's
Darrisaw.
Darrisaw is going to be
a top 15, if not top 10.
Yeah, he's going to go in the top 20 easy. And that's just freaking.
Just think about that. That's
That's
crazy.
awesome. Yeah. So my whole thing is CJ had picked Patrick Surtain. I'm thinking Surtain or Farley here for Dallas. Dallas's defense was fucking horrendous. So adding a DB, which is something they desperately need. The only other thing I could think of was Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith weren't the answer either. They had this freaking great glow on them, and everybody liked what they had to do when Justin Lee was not playing as well. Sean Lee. I'm sorry. Justin Lee's one of our good. I'm sorry. Sean Lee, he's been banged up. He's not been where he's supposed to be.
He's at the
Leighton
latter.
Vander Esch and Jalen Smith.
He's at the latter end of his career.
So I was thinking Micah Parsons would be a really nice if he fell this far, that Dallas would jump all over him. But I'm still going secondary. I'm going to pick two like CJ. I'm going to pick Surtain, Patrick Surtain the second.
If Jerry Jones is on the yacht, he might be making smart decisions.
And Farley.
He'll go offense if he's on the yacht.
True.
I'm going Patrick
He's on the yacht.
Surtain.
He's going offense.
I'm picking two here. I think it's a Patrick Surtain or Caleb Farley situation there. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those secondary guys, or you can't go wrong if you wanted to pick a third guy. Shit, if Micah Parsons fell that far, Dallas would be all over.
Just think about
because when you think about Sean Lee came out of Penn State and had injuries not wrecked his career.
He would have been
He'd be ready
and
for
if he
a gold
didn't play
jacket.
for Dallas,
And he'd have a gold jacket. He'd be ready to have a gold jacket. So that's where I'm at right there.
I believe that I'm going with you, Coach. I think they go defensive back. And then I don't think you could go wrong with either Surtain or Caleb Farley. But I think when Jerry Jones is weighing the options, he's
You said Jerry. That's not how you say it when you're in Texas.
Jerry.
It's Jera. Jera.
Jera.
Jera
Right.
Jones.
I think
Jera.
Jera will look at what schools these guys go to, and he's going to be allured with the idea that Surtain played for Bama, and so he
SEC.
goes Patrick
Surtain.
Surtain,
Yeah.
the second at the 10th overall pick.
Yeah.
Okay, Vigs. Last one.
So you remember how Dak Prescott got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't tell
You
me.
entertaining offensive linemen right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that was a possibility for me, but I just think their
yeah.
defense is horrendous.
Well, I get that, but
yeah.
You never know what Jera's going to do.
Jera could fucking pick like a fucking
Jera could turn into Jerry at some point.
He could turn it. He could pick a fucking kicker for all we know.
And I don't know what the other
He could turn into a kicker, but I mean, you tagged Dak 2 years in a row. You now signed him to a deal.
Yeah,
right?
you
got to protect him. So I think a tackle's coming off the board here.
Okay. It's not a bad choice. Not a bad
So
choice whatsoever.
I personally like our boy Darashaw from Virginia Tech, but I think any tackle could fit here. I just think Darashaw is the
Christian Darashaw
is the second best tackle. Some of you think the kid from Northwestern's a little bit better, but I think Darashaw's coming off the board here.
Man, at number 10? Wow.
You know, when you think about what this draft represents, and you have guys like freaking Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, and Javonte Williams in running back positions and stuff like that.
Second round.
It could be. It could be late. It could be
that's
late
the thing.
first. Could be late first.
Etienne in the second round for how productive he was.
Yeah, and CJ and I have argued about how good Travis Etienne is. Not only handling
His
the
acceleration,
ball,
he can catch it.
Yeah,
He
but
can
out of the
catch the
backfield,
rock.
you know, he's a freaking third down guy too.
The dude from North Carolina,
explosive third down guy. I watched film. I went back and because I really had not taken a strong look at Javonte Williams. That dude, he can play. He can fucking play. He's going to make somebody really happy. You know what I like him with?
if he falls to the Steelers,
You're just wanting somebody.
I just want a fucking running
Right.
back.
Fucking
I just
running
want
back.
fucking running back.
You know what?
Now
I
Connor's
look
gone.
at Edwards-Helaire and what he did with Kansas City.
He changed
And
their
we're-
offense.
Yeah. And
He's changed their offense.
Like Le'Veon. Oh, wait, no. He didn't.
No, he
He
didn't.
didn't even play.
But
He's
look,
even on a team.
But Edwards-Helaire just adds that flavor, and I think of Etienne, Javonte Williams in the same mold. Now, Najee Harris is a whole nother animal altogether.
You remember that tweet I
And-
shared with you
About-
about Najee Harris bouncing off a dude?
Oh, my
remember
God.
that?
Yeah.
Holy hell! That's what the weight room would do to you. Remember when I said that? God.
Yeah, it's just something about those three guys, and you're like watching film on them, and you're like,
God.
these are men. They're fucking
I don't even know if you
men.
can call them men.
21, 22 years old, and they're
Yeah.
His fucking
men.
thighs.
Yeah.
Najee Harris's legs are ginormous.
Right. And he was,
He,
how big of an impact was he in the national
Is
championship
he
game
going to
now?
be a better prospect than Derrick Henry? Is he going to be better than Derrick Henry
No.
because he can
No.
catch the football?
No, Derrick Henry is a specialist, and what Derrick Henry does is when you're that big and you can outrun the secondary because you're that big.
He doesn't even look like he's sprinting.
I know.
He's just gliding.
I just think that Derrick Henry I call him Hendry because that's from Goodfellas.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something, Hendry. No, he's just something. Derrick Henry's on another level.
I agree with Coach on that take. I think Najee will be a better pass catcher, but Derek will just be the better all around player. He's just
You don't need him to catch passes. You need him
Exactly.
to operate on first, second, and third down short yardage situations. Give him the rock and watch him freaking stiff arm people into oblivion.
exactly.
Okay.
So there you go, CJ. You want to recap everything? You want
Yeah.
to recap? All
I'll
right.
recap.
So here we go.
Where are the
Pick-
beers first? I'll get them. Where are they?
They're in the little case in the middle tray. All right, so here we go. So our first two selections of the NFL draft. Number 1 to Jacksonville. Everybody thinks it's a no-brainer. Trevor Lawrence. The Jets are going to take Zack Wilson, which is not too far off. We start to go off the rails with pick number 3. CJ's going Jamar Chase, the wide receiver from LSU. I'm going Trey Lance, and I want to really like that kid, but he's a young guy and he needs to play behind somebody. So Justin Fields, Lucas going Justin Fields. And Vigna's going Mac Jones. Mac Jones off the board in the first 3 picks. Atlanta at picking at number 4.
And there was a bitching match between that one.
CJ goes
It's
defense.
a dick measuring contest. if you haven't known.
CJ, you're going to need the glasses. I clean the glasses.
Oh,
so, yeah. So pick number 4 at Atlanta. CJ's going defense. Patrick Surtain out of Alabama. I'm going Justin Fields or Kyle Pitts. And the rest of Lucas and Vigna chose Kyle Pitts, number 4 in Atlanta. Number 5, Cincinnati. It was a no-brainer. We're all doing Penei Sewell. Number 6, Miami, who traded up to get. CJ says he's going to take the Heisman Trophy winner, and so is Vigna Devontae Smith. I say Miami tries to add a quasi-tight end. And we're still going receiver here with Lucas picking Jamar Chase. Detroit and a potential trade with New England. I chose the New England trade. CJ says Micah Parsons.
You get a blank one.
Micah Parsons is the best defender in the league, and he could very well be in the front 7, the best defender in the league. I'm going Mac Jones because I think that New England is going to work up to get number 7. That should be mine.
Yours is this
I
one.
know, but that one says Monsters of the Midway. So anyway, Jalen Waddle goes to Lucas, and Jamar Chase drops in another receiver from Vigna. The last one the last 2 are Chicago, potential trade with Chicago and Carolina. CJ says Chicago Bears take Trey Lance and revital. Huh?
There's 3 picks.
I know, but you said you picked 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, I thought you said the last 2. There's 3 left.
Okay, math boy. So CJ says there's going to be a trade with Chicago to jump up and grab Trey Lance. I'm going Jamar Chase here. Rashawn Slater, good pick here at Northwestern. Great offensive tackle from Northwestern. And Vigs takes Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, who was injured for a little bit of the season. Actually plays in the national championship. Probably the best route runner in the pick. Number 9, we are wide open here. Micah Parsons is a big pick for Vigna and I. CJ says Justin Fields falls all the way to number 9 at Denver. Lucas says Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah. And then finally, we're going to round up our top 10. CJ says J.C. Horn or Caleb Farley is going to go to Dallas. I say Patrick Surtain or Farley. Either one of those guys is going to go there. Lucas picks Patrick Surtain, and the other tackle from Virginia Tech, Christian Darrisaw, will fall to Dallas, who needs help in a number of places. Defensively should be the place to be, but Vigna's stupid and he picked. Just kidding.
I very well could be.
No, he's good. That's all good. So those are our picks. We'll see you back on Thursday to pick these up, but we are going to do beers.
Yes.
No hops of the week.
No hops of the
It's
week.
just beer drinking.
And I
That's
want
the
to
name
take.
of the show, the Pub Talk, right?
I want
Drink some beer?
my hops of the week to be a tier list. next
Okay.
week. The only problem is there are 31 choices in my tier.
Jesus.
So I'm going to.
Christ.
How many choices does the average tier list have?
Like 20?
Okay, I'm going to whittle it down to 20.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to know what it is?
I would love to know what it is.
Oh, gee.
I found the 31 most often used death penalties around the world.
There's 31 of them?
31 different forms of the death penalty.
What?
I thought you just got zapped. Like that was pretty much it.
I thought you got injected
No.
with that needle
No.
and
No.
just
No.
fall
No.
over.
See, we live.
Well, you
in
get
the-
your head decapitated. What do
We
you-
live in
what do
the
you get
USA.
shot?
Yes, where the guillotine has got to be one.
Guillotine.
Okay.
They still use
I'm
that?
sorry, you
What
snail
is
eating fuck.
What is
I-
this?
the 15th?
Elite.
What is this, the 1500s?
No.
Coach,
the
CJ's
guillotine,
really
the last
smart
time
today.
the last time the guillotine
Thanks,
was used
Lucas.
was like in the
Jackass.
1970s.
Ah,
but there's a whole bunch of them from freaking medieval times or medieval times.
It's medieval, you jackass.
All right. If I had something to throw at you other than this can opener, I would. All right, so let's get into these beers.
All right.
All right, so the first one is called Mountain Lager.
Oh.
And Mountain Lager is brewed and bottled in Appalachian Brewing Company,
Kentucky.
in Cameron Street, Harrisburg, PA.
Harrisburg.
It's called Mountain Lager, and I'm trying to find. I'm trying to get my glasses on there.
I like the cap. They got the paw print on there.
I like it.
Yeah. It was kind of a Penn State-y thing, huh?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the ABV on this. Oh, here it is. 5% alcohol.
You'll live.
5%. Well, we try to measure that. We try to measure that because sometimes you can taste these things and they'll rock your shit. So let me get my cup over here or my glass. Why am I pouring it out of one glass into another glass?
Huh?
Coach against Yator Gross Maltese when he was at Chancellor.
Yetur Gross Monte.
Oh my God, he was a freak.
Yeah, he was. He was good one.
He was.
Where did Parsons come from?
Harrisburg.
Well,
PA.
he turned out like
he turned out nice lager smell to it.
He turned out like he turned down
It's super clear. Piss water clear.
It's got a little bit of a flat taste, but it finishes okay.
I like the label. It's got that like actual falls.
It starts out very
the cool logo with
the taste is good.
Tracks.
But yeah, the start to it, I'm like,
it's a German style lager.
Yeah, it's a German
style. It's brewed with the Appalachian spring water. That's pretty cool.
So it's got a great start, and then it finishes kind of flat for me.
Yeah, I don't know. This is like a really weird one for me.
It's a great start. Finishes flat, uninspiring. Probably wouldn't go back to the cooler for this one.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna.
If it was the only thing in the cooler, I wouldn't hesitate to drink it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not.
But it doesn't have a.
Lucas, go in for your third taste.
It doesn't have a bad.
I'm going in for my third taste.
Going in for my fourth taste now.
Fourth.
It doesn't have a bad aftertaste.
No, it doesn't.
But it doesn't like overwhelm you. So I'm gonna keep drinking it.
Right. It doesn't. It's got a little bit of a flat taste to start out. It's okay, but then when you
it's not like
there's no aftertaste with it, which I'm good with because that's huge. And then our number one thing is if there's a cooler of beer and there's a cooler of
it's almost like your traditional Coors Light, Bud Light type taste going down, but there's no aftertaste,
which is huge for me.
Yes.
So if you're at a party,
I'm drinking a couple. I'm drinking a couple of these.
I think I'm going to drink a few of these, and it's not like an especially good beer. It's not a Utica Club for damn sure, but it's not that bad. It's really not.
Was this a total? This wasn't Total Wine, was it?
No, this was Beer Mart in Gettysburg.
I personally would never.
Way back, I went up to visit my mom, and I came back 15 down to make an easy transition across because I had time.
Yeah.
And Beer Mart in Gettysburg has a great selection.
Is it like a Total Wine type?
Yeah, but it's all beer.
Gotcha.
It's all beer.
I personally don't think I would ever go out of my way to buy this at the store, but if it was being offered to me, I would take it. That's where I would rate it as.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over the top great. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a Utica Club.
I like the color, CJ, on this one. What do you think?
Well, this one's a little.
Oh yeah, black and yellow.
Black and yellow. So this is a fairly new beer.
It's Philadelphia.
Yeah, this is a Philly beer. Philadelphia.
Are there fucking traders over there?
This is a small beer. It's called the Yards. It's Philly's Pale Ale, and it's 4.6% alcohol. Yards Brewing Company, Spring Garden Street, right there in Philadelphia. So it's 4.6. The average beer we're talking from Michelob Ultra on up to a Bud Light. Miller Lite is probably between 4.5, 4.7. So this fits right in there. But this is called Yards Brewing, and it's Philly's Pale Ale. And I think I poured a little too much into that, but CJ's not a great beer drinker, but
You like that?
It's got a great smell
like the
to it.
bourbon and scotch.
It's got a
man.
great smell. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's got the perfect
liquors,
cold
yeah.
beer smell. It's got the perfect cold
Great
beer.
smell.
Great smell. It does.
Elite.
I've tried to refrain from using that
It's so
word
good
today.
though.
Brewed in the city of brotherly love. I'm not a fan of the label. Usually, I like.
All right. So it starts out like an IPA and doesn't
Yeah,
finish like an IPA,
Super smooth.
but it doesn't finish like an IPA. It doesn't have. Can you see on there, Vigs, if it has bitters? What are the bitters? IBUs. It will be IBU if it has it listed on there.
Yeah, it just says
And that aftertaste is-
4.6% alcohol by volume.
I really like this.
But you know what? You
Lucas
taste it and
Easy,
it has.
they're from
It
Philly.
finishes
There's
okay.
nothing good in Philly.
It finishes okay.
Sorry. cheesesteaks, and most of them are
about all
very
you Philly
stock.
listeners.
And so Vignas, because he
I'm a-
drinks out of the Monongahela.
Monongahela.
Oh, sorry.
And Primanti sandwiches are very good.
Whoa,
Thank you very much.
Permane brothers. Don't be saying that wrong here.
He did that on purpose.
I know he did.
So guess who is playing at home?
Ooh, it does taste like an IPA at the start.
It has a little bit, but
Oh.
wait till the finish. Wait till the finish. Let
It's
the
not bad.
aroma-
It's
Yes.
not bad. It's got the IPA flavor going down.
Yeah, it
but
does.
not after.
Initially, but it doesn't
So-
stay there.
That's what
And I think it has to do with the aroma. I think it has to do with the smell of the beer. And a lot of people don't get that. But sometimes when you can smell a
See-
beer, it finishes much differently than what your taste buds tell you.
I really like
And
this.
this
it's
isn't
got
bad.
it's got that citrus. Like citrus.
Yeah, it's a little.
Or
I can't
what?
quite put my finger on it. It's not a lemon. It could be more of an
But
orange
look-
kind of thing.
I would agree with that.
But look
Orange.
how light it is. Usually IPAs aren't that light.
Yeah, you could get a hazy IPA. Definitely get a little hazy look to it. So yards. That's not bad. That's not bad.
The after, yeah.
And then finally,
See, all right. So I don't know. My
this
only
is
thing
definitely
is
German.
Great design on the can.
slap on the label. Classic.
This is a box. Yeah, it's all.
I love it.
It's all crooked.
I
too.
love it.
It's all crooked.
You
Look how
know,
they
you
put
know,
it
it's
on
a
there.
homegrown one.
So this is a Helles Bock. It's German style pale Bock, and it is 7% alcohol by volume. It's proudly brewed by Bingo Beer Company right here in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right here in Richmond, Virginia. So this is a German style Bock, and
I don't know
I don't know if I've ever had a Bock.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a
It's-
box.
Yeah, but as soon as you taste it, Box and all the other ones, they tend to blend the same. It's another
light beer?
It's another light, clear,
It might be
dark
light-
amber. It's a very amber looking pour. It doesn't have an especially large head or anything like that.
And it's in a can, so
Yeah.
it's going to taste a
I
little
like
bit
the
different.
smell.
And I'm going to hammer a bunch of these because it has a very smooth taste,
Mhm.
very smooth delivery, no aftertaste.
Yeah, that's really good. Also,
7% alcohol by volume.
yeah, it'll.
And it would be much better if it was in a cooler, packed in ice.
Oh, I totally
and-
agree.
Yeah, I think you're going to hammer.
It goes down really smooth.
There's still some.
No aftertaste.
See, I
How
like this
much
one.
more?
I like this one.
How much?
You want more?
No, I was going to give it to Lucas because.
Oh,
I like this one better than the pale ale.
Yeah, it's just a
It's-
different style. Just a different style, but the pale ale fits that way.
Top
But-
yourself off.
Oh, jeez.
Here you go.
Oh.
You
Oh.
can say something.
There's a little bit. There's a little bit.
You can say something for me.
You can have the spit.
I'll have the backwash.
But that's a pretty good Hellsbach, German style.
Yeah.
What do you think, CJ, on that?
It's better than the pale ale for me. I'm just not
Same.
that
Yeah,
much
but
of a
that
bitter guy.
that IPA, the India Pale Ale, tends to come with a little bit of bitter.
Yeah.
The only difference being is with the yard style of beer, the one that we just tasted, is that the aftertaste, it's gone. It leaves you, and this is a really good beer. I really like this one.
This one's this one's definitely
I could find this and get this into the fridge for the next couple of weeks, and I think people will enjoy it.
I agree. I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not. I don't know if I'm keen. Probably because it's from Philly, but
Yeah.
it's probably why it's. Sorry, you Philly listeners.
Yeah. Well,
There's
it is
not-
what it is.
There's only one city in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Any final remarks then?
No?
I would like to comment on where I had Devontae Smith falling. It's obviously a little bit different. I
It's
had
a final decision. No take backsies here.
No.
Oh.
It's not take back seat, basically,
Okay.
because we did our top 10. Now, assuming there's no trades, which there obviously will be, but in my mock, I didn't do any trades. I had Devontae Smith falling all the way down to number 20 to the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
I just figured that'd be kind of an interesting take.
You think it would fall to number 10?
I had
20.
I had
20.
Justin Fields falling right into Bill Belichick's lap.
Okay, that's another point. Trey Lance fell to 15 for me to New England. Gives him a chance to develop. No hurry to start him with Cam Newton. At the same time, a really good prospect. Let him get coached up by
And
Josh.
Justin Fields.
Who was the guy from Utah State who ended up?
Jordan
Love. And I really thought that the freaking Bears not the Bears, but New England would have went after him last year.
I heard there were
And they
rumors
didn't.
that Jordan Love might get traded to New England.
Well,
I saw that on the Pat McAfee show. So that's my source.
He is a better insider than anything.
Oh, for sure. Big fan of the Pat McAfee show.
Love it.
Shout out to him.
yeah, freaking Pat McAfee has a great show, but as good as it is, it's not even fucking close to ours.
Fuck no.
Of course not.
Because there's 4 guys that have a microphone in front of their face.
He's only
And-
one. We're 4 times better.
Exactly.
He's got more than just himself. I've never listened to the
I know.
fucking show.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay, next Thursday night, the
Lucas
NFL
is going to be
draft.
coaching in a baseball game.
I'll be a little bit
Boo.
late, but I
Boo.
will be coming as fast as I can.
Yeah. So normally the draft starts at 8:00, but they will be bullshitting probably for a lot of the time. And who knows when the picks will be in and when we have to stop listening to the analysts go on. And Mel Kiper, listen, I know that this is the guy. Okay. I know it.
That's why we listen to NFL Network. DJ.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm saying that's why I don't want to listen to Mel Kiper.
Nah.
But next Thursday night, live show once again. Everyone's going to be back. This is our time to shine, I guess, because we were completely
got the
wrong
list.
last time.
We have the Bible of the draft.
No beer, no drinking, no hops of the week next week
No,
to follow with the
no.
show because it'll be a longer show with
No,
the
I'm going
draft.
to be drinking during the
No,
show.
I mean
Yeah,
during the
if-
show,
if-
I'm saying, but not
no,
as
no
a
hops of the
segment.
week,
Yeah, no
We'll
segment.
we'll be shocked to see if we are 100% experts.
Yeah.
We're going to be no better than Mel Kiper. I'm going to tell you right now. And
We're about to
Schefter,
make the Jimmy Clausen pick here.
I think
Stop! Don't! No, Jimmy
I
Claus.
think the
no.
fans are going to be amazed. Like, wow, that Lucas guy, he had so many picks right. He should be hired by NFL Network.
If I swear to God, if they pick the number 3 pick and it's one of your 2 picks, no bitching fight, okay? About who's about
Me and Vigs are going to get into it if Mac Jones goes 3.
Exactly,
Or
man.
if Justin Fields goes 3.
Okay. Thank you 2 for being here.
Yeah, man.
Always a pleasure.
Yes,
Love
yes,
it.
yes.
Next Thursday. Yes, it was
This
This
coming
Thursday,
This
CJ.
Thursday.
Come on now.
Coming Thursday.
And then after the show, I'm leaving for your grandmother's house.
Okay. Well, that'll wrap
I'm going to
us
go
up,
spend the
though.
weekend with my with his
there you
grandmother.
go.
But guys, until next time, peace out.
See ya.
See ya.
Deuces.